Welcome back to In History. Today we're diving into one of the lesser-known but fascinating chapters of the Crusades, the Seventh Crusade. Led by King Louis IX of France, this crusade was a blend of religious fervor, strategic ambition, and unexpected disasters. Buckle up, because we're about to journey to the Nile Delta and uncover what went down in the Seventh Crusade. While the First and Third Crusades are often seen as defining moments in the clash between Europe and the Muslim world, the Seventh Crusade had a different feel. By this time, crusading had evolved from a call for religious liberation to something more complex, with political ambitions and deep personal stakes. Louis IX, unlike many crusaders before him, was motivated by a sincere religious conviction, even bordering on a sense of duty to God above all else. Louis's fervor was matched only by his careful preparation. Unlike some of the more impulsive crusades of the past, he spent years organizing and planning, motivated by a belief that he could not only protect Christian lands, but also redeem his soul. His planning included not only military strategy, but also diplomatic overtures to allies in Europe, showing a more measured approach. To understand why Louis IX embarked on the Seventh Crusade, we need to go back a few years. Louis IX was a deeply devout king. In 1244 he fell gravely ill, and during his recovery he vowed to go on a crusade if he survived. True to his word, once he regained his strength, Louis began preparing for an expedition that would not only protect Christianity, but also expand his influence. Louis spent 4 years gathering resources and troops, drawing support from nobles and church leaders. He even funded the expedition with his own wealth, displaying a level of dedication that set him apart from previous crusaders. In 1248, he set sail from France with a sizable army, heading first to Cyprus before advancing towards Egypt. The Crusaders' first target was Damietta, a crucial port city at the mouth of the Nile. On June 6, 1249, Louis and his forces captured Damietta with surprising ease. The Egyptian forces, unprepared for the attack, quickly withdrew. The city's capture was seen as a major victory, and the Crusaders began to celebrate. Damietta provided a valuable foothold. However, Louis and his advisors failed to anticipate the seasonal flooding of the Nile, which soon trapped the Crusaders. With the city's infrastructure ill-suited for a long-term occupation, Louis faced new challenges. Morale began to wane as supplies ran low and disease spread through the camp. This early triumph would soon be overshadowed by harsh realities. The Nile River was set to flood, and while the Crusaders planned to march deeper into Egypt, the conditions quickly deteriorated. Many were forced to stay put, trapped by the very waters that had brought them there. Despite warnings from locals about the dangerous flooding, Louis ordered his troops to march toward Mansura, a city that held strategic importance. However, the flooding made travel difficult, and the Crusaders were vulnerable to attacks. They finally reached Mansura, but by then, the Egyptian forces, led by Sultan al-Salih Ayyub, were ready. What followed was a brutal battle, with the Crusaders suffering heavy losses. King Louis and his army were caught off guard by the Egyptians' superior knowledge of the terrain. In a twist of fate, al-Salih died during the battle, but his forces, now under the command of his son Turanshah, were relentless. After weeks of fighting, the Crusaders were forced into a retreat. Many died of hunger and disease, and their ranks were decimated. By April 1250, King Louis IX and his remaining soldiers were captured. For the first time in the history of the Crusades, a European king was taken prisoner by Muslim forces. Louis IX's capture sent shockwaves through Europe. To secure his release, France paid an enormous ransom, 400,000 gold bezants, the equivalent of tens of millions today. Louis was forced to surrender Damietta as part of the terms. The dream of conquering Egypt was over. Despite the defeat, Louis remained resolute. After his release, he traveled to the Holy Land, where he spent 4 years trying to rebuild alliances and strengthen defenses, though his crusading goals were left largely unfulfilled. King Louis IX returned to France in 1254, greeted as a hero despite his failed crusade. His reputation as a saintly ruler endured, and he continued to work for peace in his realm. In 1297 he was canonized by the Catholic Church, becoming St. Louis. The Seventh Crusade, while a military failure, had a lasting impact. It marked a shift in crusading zeal as Europeans began to see the high cost of these expeditions. The Seventh Crusade stands as a testament to the power of conviction, but also to the limits of ambition in the face of unforeseen challenges. The Seventh Crusade reminds us that even the most devout leaders can face unexpected setbacks. It's a story of ambition, faith, and ultimately, human resilience. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below on what ancient mystery you'd like us to explore. Until next time, keep seeking knowledge. See you next time on In History.